Vision Builders is about your dreams, your vision. Put it in the chat right now. If you're here with us, put it in the chat right now. What do you want to accomplish this year? What do you want your life to look like by the end of this year? What is your dream and what is your vision? And again, welcome to Vision Builders, where we help you discover your purpose and realize your vision. That's all we talk about here. So if you're interested in learning more about dreams, visions, and accomplishing them this year, you're in the right place. Welcome, welcome. I am here. My name is Edwidge Michelle. I'm here with our host, Mr. Brown, and our co host, Miss Nellie Bessman.
I'm gonna share something that I heard about a week or so ago, and I heard it again 2 days ago, and I was like, I need to share this. So here's what the statistic says. I'm gonna take you guys off the screen for a minute. So here's what the statistic says. If you surround yourself with people who are smarter or further ahead than you increase your ability and your cognition by 30%. If you surround somebody less than you, if you're surrounded by people less than you decrease by 60. So it's double pulling you down, and it's and it's shorter going up, but still more powerful. Now I'm gonna bring you back on the screen. That's a powerful word right there. If you surround yourself with people more driven, more intelligent, smarter than you increase your ability by 30%. Put yourself around somebody weaker than you, and you decrease by 60. That's crazy. Talk about that a little bit. Jump in the chat, Joe. I know you're gonna be like, wait, say what again? I got to get rid of a lot of people.
Wow, that's really deep. One thing I will know, I think it's easier to fall down than it is to climb up. So when you have somebody to climb up, it takes a lot. It's intentional. You have to push. You have to. And when you work so hard to get to the top, to slide down is easy. And so getting around people that are not doing, I totally get that. Yeah, sliding down, it can happen overnight if you're not careful. You can turn around and everything is just down.
Well, think about it. When have you ever seen a coach have to motivate you to go to sleep? He got to motivate you to keep going and get the work done. Getting you to go to sleep, that doesn't take no effort. So when you look at it from that perspective, we're more driven to go in reverse than to go forward. So then surrounding yourself with people who encourage you to not achieve, as the kids say less, right? Get in the comments, tell me what you think about it. I see a few people speaking on them stats. Tell me what Duran just said. He just wrote a book, and it's hard for me to read it from the distance.
Okay, let's see. All right, Devon said, I hired a team of people that are smarter than me. Working with them has increased my confidence boost and helped develop stronger leadership skills. And then he also said, I am used to being the worker, and as a lead charge was different for me. I learned to be dynamic. And then Saliba said, dang, 60%, we can only afford one dumb friend.
Man, that is my blood right there, right? That's something she would absolutely say. I don't even want one dumb friend now. I don't want any dumb people. I'm learning to stop having conversations with people, and I've really gotten really good with saying to people, okay, well that's fine if that's how you see it. No, I'm just trying to give you what I'm thinking. No, if that's how you think, nah, why are you gonna do that? Why are you gonna shut me out? Because stupidity begets stupidity. I'm not gonna stand here and go back and forth. That old saying, if you argue with a stupid person, somebody walking by might not know who the stupid person is. I don't understand here and argue with a stupid person. So, with all of that said, I want to try to get to some of our slides tonight, and I want to talk about We're going to skip the words. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another night where we're going to go over words. We're going to have our word of the week. But tonight, I want to get to going over some of our points. I want to hopefully get to our checklist. I want to show a video. There's a few things I want to put out there. One of the videos I already have posted, but I want to share it tonight and I want to talk on it a little bit because it's powerful and it's Miss Kiki Palmer's video. Let me see if I can get that up without a problem. Hold on a second here. Let me see what we got. Okay, that ain't right. Okay, here we go. Let's look at Kiki.
A lot of people never get their projects off the ground because they're expecting everything to be perfect and they're not understanding that ownership and doing it on your own and having the independence of starting and finishing something, whether it's perfect or not, it's going to guide you to get to that next level. And don't think that you have to start already having it all together. I think that's an important thing. Just start with what you have.
What Ms. Palmer's saying here is powerful, and I'm gonna tell you why. I tell people this all the time. If you wait for everything to be perfect, I didn't make this up, it's scriptural. When you wait for everything to be perfect, you will never sow and you also never reap. I'm doing a paraphrase of it. But here's what it comes down to. Watch this. Mary J. Blige, in the interview, said one time she listened back to What's the 411 and said, oh my God, this is horrible. People actually like this? Why? Because she grew so far that she can look back to where she came from and realize that really wasn't good quality. It's not as good as it could have been, but it was to the people who loved it and still is to the people who loved it. She's judging it now based on the standard of what she would accept today. But at that moment, there's a world that accepted it just like it is. And if it wasn't from that album that she frowns at right now, she wouldn't be what she is today. So don't wait for your stuff to be perfect. Do it, put it out, work with it. I don't care if it's music, I don't care if it's a business idea. You start small. The first property that I got was a single house with a whole bunch of mess in it and dead birds and everything all up in it. But you keep growing, you get bigger, you get better. You say, how did I mess that deal up? But you learn from it. Somebody said, start and fail quickly. Get it out the way so you can go to the next level. You ready? Let's grow. That was a small let's grow. I broke that one down. So I want you to know something now. This is the part of the game where we get really, really stuck in court because nobody likes to fail. Nobody likes to look in front of people like they're making a mistake over and over again. But it's crucial to make your next levels. I did not get on the floor and just start roller skating. I came to the ring, and the first ring I went to, everybody there was better than me, but I could at least skate. And then I came to this place in Fort Lauderdale, and these guys, like I said, they skate like they're trying to be in the Olympics. The stuff they do, splits and sliding across the floor, and I'm not even gonna try to learn some of that stuff. But it pulled my game up so much, but I fell. Boy, I fell trying to do different things. I fell not too long ago. I twisted my ankle, my knee, and my calf. And I was kind of, on my back for a couple of days. Why are you doing that in your 60s? Because I'm around people that's doing greater things, but I'm willing to fall to be better. Now, I picked how far I want to go. Some of these stunts these boys are doing, I'm not even thinking about it, but I have picked my mark, and it's not a low one. So my point is, you start out bad. You start out making mistakes. You start out stumbling. You start out looking dumb. Well, what are people going to laugh at me? Who? A bunch of people that's sitting there not doing anything? Because usually, listen to what I'm about to say, the people who are going to laugh at you are usually the people that are not doing anything. The people that are going to mock you are not going to be people that's climbing the mountain. It's going to be people that's sitting at the summit. This is going to be people sitting on the ground. These are not going to be people that's trying. The naysayers are not going to be people who are doing it. It's going to be people who are not doing it, and they will be the most critical, and they will make the most fun of you. So my point is here, and it's clear. Listen to me. Let those people sit there, like Talima just said, we got to get rid of all the dumb friends, right? Everybody who is climbing is going to encourage. and everybody who's not going to make mockery of you because you climbing is showing them their laziness, and they don't like the fact that you're climbing because or have the audacity to heal, to grow, to mend a good relationship, to go forward and do more this time than you did last. No, they don't want that because they're comfortable with you. And I need you to keep this in mind. People need you where you are because you serve a purpose to them. They need you where you are because you being either immobile or lazy or not pursuing anything comforts them where they are. You serve a role in people's lives where you are. Everybody on this video, on this call, watching this video, you need to understand where you are right now. There are people in your life and you serve a purpose in their lives. They need you there. So once you start talking about, I'm going to move and I'm going to go to a deeper place, or I'm going to go to another place, or I'm going to go to a better place, sometimes it's jealousy because they don't want to see you make it. But sometimes this means I lose you. Let me give you an example, a clear example. You ever been alone, mateless? Females deal with this a lot. And now all of a sudden, you find a male partner who, yo, man, this really works. It seems to be working for me. It's good. And none of your friends like him. Not because he did anything wrong, but because now he's cutting into their time. He's cutting into their relationship with you. And they don't like it. Sometimes, again, it's jealousy, but sometimes it's just you serve a purpose in my life, and this person now being in your life is removing you from us where we want and need you. Talk about this a little bit, co-host.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah, I get it because when you're in a circle and everyone is the same, you guys are all the same. Everyone is leaning on each other. Everyone is comfortable. Like, I let it reverse. So let me go back to what you said about when you move forward, you indirectly give or expose other people for who they are and what they're doing, and it causes them to have no excuse because you guys are in the same circle. So now it's like either they have a choice to stay the same or push forward and go and change. And so the people that don't want to push forward and go and change, they have a problem with you doing it because they start saying like, well, who do you think you are? Only because they chose to stay where they are and not take the challenge to go forward. So that was gonna be my first comment. But having to deal with that, yes, for me, I definitely had to break through the mold of letting people go to get to the next level. It's never pretty. It doesn't look good, but you have to cut those what they call the losses because it's gonna hold you down, and you have to get away from that thought process that's keeping you in that same place and grab a hold of the new place where you're going with this new conversations and new thought process and what you need. Um, yeah, so I think it's unavoidable. If you're going to the top, you're gonna have to cut those people out to make it.
Miss Michelle?
Yeah, it's something that Mr. Brown taught us. It's that pyramid. Everybody starts at the bottom, but as you climb to the top, most people are not either going to make it up there because they're not fit enough, or they just think it's too hard, or they're going to try to drag you down. So you got to start as you start ascending. It's less and less and less people. Um, but that's real. You made a good point, Mr. Brown. With the single and lonely crowd. Once someone enters in, people aren't so kind at first because they want you to be right exactly where they are. And
Where they
yeah,
need you.
as they say, misery loves company. And no, we don't like the misery.
Well, can you hear me? Do you hear me? Am I going now? Okay, nobody's responding while I'm
Okay.
speaking. Yeah, listen, we're doing what we can. But can you hear me?
We can't hear you here on the Ninja. Unless Nellie's unmuted, I can't hear anything you're saying. I have to listen on YouTube.
Listen, we're doing what. Okay, so you hear me on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to fix the Ninja while you talk. But as I was saying to you, Edwidge, it's not that the misery loves company all the time. It's just as I said, you are needed to them where you are. You follow me? They don't want you in another place because you haven't. They need you. Okay, this is a good example, and then we'll move on. You have made a kind of place in their life as being their confidant, friend, shoulder to cry on, woe is me, buddy. You've become that to them. You leaving that place is a crutch. It's an anchor. It's something that they've come to depend on. So they don't consider themselves as being miserable and loving company as much as they consider themselves, you are taking away from me the thing that I've grown to lean on. And even though the statement is true, I'm just trying to present to you the level of it. So now let's move on. Let's talk about starting, failing quick, getting back up, getting back in the race, learning what you need to learn from that experience. Say that one more time. Learning what you need to learn from that experience. Say it one more time. Learning what you need to learn from that experience. In every fall, and every shortcoming, and every failure, and every thing that I've done that didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I had the opportunity to feel sad, to feel embarrassed, to care what people think, or to get up and learn from it. And the shame factor is big. I mean, it's big. I still wrestle with that because I don't like failing. But overcoming that and getting back out there and taking what's yours is huge. Let's look at some of our slideshow stuff here. Let me see if this is it. I like that one, but I wanted to go with this first. See if it's working right. Nope, that ain't working right now. Okay, so I guess I'm here. I tried to set up a slideshow and it didn't work right. All right, so let's deal with what we got here. I want to go to the checklist tonight, but again, this whole technical thing and the fact that I don't have a production team and I'm having to do everything myself has been quite a bit of learning, but it's also been a great education for me. So I'm skipping the words tonight. The words were going to be progress versus perfection, but we're going to skip that tonight. And we're going to skip the definitions and we're going to go straight to our lesson. So as I prepare us to start to deal with the points that I have on the slides, where's my first steps? Next steps, first steps. I want to talk about some of the things that we saw in this video and how it pertains to being successful. Everybody says, teach me how to be a millionaire. And it's like, that's not how it works. It doesn't, you're not going to go to anybody and say, that's like, teach me how to fly a plane. Okay, just get in the plane, pull this knob, turn that, and then you're flying a plane. It doesn't work that way. You're going to have to learn some things, and a lot of it you're going to have to learn on the ground because nobody wants you to try it out in the air. It's a good chance, 99% chance you ain't going to live. So there's a lot of things that you have to learn before you start. You know, I want to know how to read. Well, you need to learn your alphabets. I don't want to learn A, B, C, D. Well, you have to. Well, I learned the song. Well, now you have to learn the sound that each letter makes. And all of these things play a role in your success. So I'll say the next steps will be this. Here's where we're going to go. Identify perfectionist habits and replace them with action-oriented behavior. If I'm sounding like I'm being too big with the words, this is ChatGPT taking my words and making it sound more professional. So when I stand in front of the rich, successful people, I don't sound too elementary to them. But you guys, this is why I spend my time teaching you these words. Now that will make a little more sense to you. Identify perfectionist habits and replace them with action-oriented behavior. What am I saying? Being a perfectionist is a killer of success if you don't watch your step. Being a perfectionist stops you from going forward every time you feel like you have a hiccup or mistake. So I talked about skating. Nelly talked about selling the product and me having to say, no, keep it, don't put it back in the bag, leave it in front of their face, let them keep looking at it while you're talking. And these are the kind of things is because I'm a perfectionist, I don't want to show my failures. I don't want to show my shortcomings. But showing your progress is what makes you powerful and what makes you, watch this, more real to people. So if you say, okay, I made a mistake, people saw me, or nobody saw me, I felt it, but what are the actions I take? Listen to me close. What are the actions I take to not, or to remove that mistake from my life or remove it from my lifestyle? This is very important what I'm saying to you. You need to remove that mistake not only from your life, but your lifestyle. You've been functioning a certain way for so long that it's part of who you are and what makes you you. So you trying to not just not make the mistake, but you're trying to correct what's inside of you that brought about that mistake or that behavior or that attitude or that thought process. And you need to do the things. And I tell people all the time, you have to go in the file cabinet and remove the old definition and put a new definition in. You have to remove the old definition of failure and throw it away. And then you got to put a new definition of what failure is. And instead of failure being a loss, failure becomes an opportunity. But nobody can go in your file cabinet and replace that definition. That's your definition. And I mean, I hope you guys like in the chat are hearing what I'm saying and listening to that and feeling that. Your definition of it is yours. And nobody can take that from you. So you have to make the decision that, okay, I'm willing to sit down and unlearn what I know and learn again. So let's go back to our list here. And let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Identify perfectionist habits. If I said it simple, I would say, get rid of being a perfectionist, and be somebody who's willing to grow and develop. Learn from your mistakes. Next line. Develop a mindset of learning from mistakes and refining your process. Develop a mindset of learning from your mistakes and refining your process. I won't go all into that again. I already covered that. This one here is very important to you, men and women. Set realistic, achievable goals with incremental, I shouldn't even put this stuff in there. Incremental process, right? Set realistic, achievable goals with incremental process. Like step at a time. That's all that means. I'm gonna simplify it. Baby talk. Step at a time. One step at a time. Set realistic goals though. Okay. Motorcycle. I know how to ride a motorcycle. It's a process though, because the way the clutch and the gear shift works with your feet and hands. But I remember the first time I tried to ride a motorcycle and it just shot out from under me and I fell on the ground and messed up the person's motorcycle a little bit and it didn't go over well. Then I learned how to drive a stick shift car. And I drove that car for years. So the next time a person brought a motorcycle to me, in my mind I said, okay, so my right hand is my left foot. Wait a minute, let me make sure I get that right. Brake, clutch. Is clutch on? I'm getting mixed up now. It's been a long time. Clutch. Right. Left hand was left foot. I forgot now. It's been a minute. As soon as I get on the motorcycle, I'll remember. But I think one hand is the clutch, and right, I think the right hand is the clutch. My memory is telling me just from imagining the motorcycle, and this is how powerful this has been over like maybe almost 30 years since I rode a motorcycle. But my memory is telling me, no, you got it right. Your right hand is your clutch, which is my left foot. I shift the gear with my right foot. My brake is my left hand, and my brake and hand brake and rear brake is left foot. And now, so yeah, that's right. I got it. So my point is, I was able to translate from the car to my hand, and when I went out to learn how to ride the motorcycle, within half an hour, I knew how to ride it perfectly. So you have the experience, the failures, the opportunity to learn from what you did, what you're doing, and getting better at it. So let's keep it moving. So set goals that are small, and they don't have to be small, they can be big, but how am I going to say this? Set a goal that's huge. So let's scratch what I said about a small goal. Set a huge goal, and then set small increments to that goal in your process. Meaning, one step at a time. Don't try to conquer it all in one day and frustrate yourself. Set parts of it. So I'm going to give you a real example now using Nelly. We went back and forth for me and her in this oil thing for like almost a year. People are like, wow, Nelly did oil. Me and her fought and argued, went back and forth with that oil thing for a while, right? So I want to put you on the screen so you can see me talking about you, right? So we went back and forth with this oil thing for a while because she's used to standing behind the chair and doing people's hair. Having to go do this whole oil thing for her and step in this entrepreneurial venture was a whole different animal for her, and she was not jumping up and down and happy about it. I kept pushing it. We got to a couple of fights. I know you may not believe it, but yet we get into it sometime, right? Because I'm running so fast, and Nelly is a little more sedentary. She's a little more like, I work hard doing this. And I'm like, yeah, but you work hard doing the thing that don't make the money. This is the stuff that we got to do that makes the money. And it's work. And it's frustrating, but it's work. And so finally got her to do the oil. We're trying it, getting it best we can, perfecting the old family recipe. Okay, how do we fill the bottles? So now she's picking up the pot and trying to put a funnel in these little bottles and trying to pour it in there and spilling it all over the table and knocking over the bottle, and this is not working right. So I come up, hey, let's get like the syringe type things and let's put them in there. Well, we did that. We got bottles done, but man, at the end, your hands are sore. The syringe locks up a lot, what you don't know, because air gets in there and then you're trying to push it and you're like, We looked around, but we did it. So just recently, I just purchased what she'll be posting online. The thing is a machine. You fill the top with oil. It's got a handle literally like a slot machine with a red ball on it. You set the amount you want to go in the bottle. You pull the handle down one time. It fills the bottle to the level you want. Stops and done. She was sitting here just booped, just throwing it. But she's gonna post a video soon on it, doing bottles. But this is the process. What hit me really, really to the core. And please comment. I'm not seeing any comments, and I don't see anything going on in the chat. But get some movement in here. Get some conversation going. Stars, likes, hearts, moons, stars, clovers, purple hearts, blue moons. Get some lucky charms up in there. Here's my point. As I was growing and looking to develop this thing and get to the end, it hit me yesterday when I had the t-shirt made. I made and designed this label. I designed and made this logo. And I forgot that I had a graphics background. Matter of fact, I didn't even give any value to the fact that I had a graphics background. So we sent it to this guy, sent him the logo, sent him the bottle, sent him the QR code, and he sent back this thing that looked like a piece of crap. Worst thing I ever saw. The logo was this big all over the shirt. Bottle, you couldn't even see it. The name, you couldn't see it. Y'all can't see the rest of it. Let me see if I can let you see the rest of it. I put the name, I put the QR codes. As somebody walk up to you, just tell them scan it. Scan my shirt. Now, this is something that I had to start with and learn. But if I had got caught up in the pieces of it, I would never get to see the full thing. You get what I'm saying? If I got caught up in the steps and the pieces of it, I would never have learned the full process, that all the stuff that I'm doing right now, everything that I'm developing right now with her, came from me doing all these little things and learning these little things that I didn't even count to be worth anything. I didn't give them any value. But taking these little incremental steps that might not even look to you like they serve the ultimate purpose, trust me when I tell you, they play a role. I'm going to take a breather. Jump in, ladies. Feel free.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Everything that you're doing, it is going to play a role for the bigger picture. Um, I think about what I was doing in the salon and the fact that I had that endurance and that consistency, and taking all those heads and just being using that creativity there. But now on this level, I'm gonna need that endurance. I'm gonna need that consistency. But one of the things that Mr. Brown always tells me is that it's not just about being on that consistent and maintaining. It's about being innovative and climbing to the next level, and changing and growing and changing. So now with all of that consistency that I had, that endurance, now I'm gonna have to go ahead and add this, the growth, the change, being able to adapt and on this level. And so I'm expecting a dynamic explosion, like you said, because yeah, I'm gonna need all of that. So my past is included in the future in terms of what I learned there. I'm applying here, but adding some new stuff to it as well.
So think about this, and thank you for sharing. So think about this. When it came to creating the logo, I said, Nelly, I want to put your face on the bottle. She said, but it's our business. What about you? I was like, nobody wants to see me. I want to put your face on this bottle, on our logo. I came up with the name Live Unique because it was Bless Unique Styles by Nelly. And I was like, well, that only speaks to styles, hairstyles, unless you're making clothing. And it puts you in a limited market where Live Unique covers your life, covers everything. So we'll deal with the life that goes with living unique, and we're going to put you on the logo. So started designing the logo, got a couple of people to try to take our picture and image and draw it for me, and a couple of people did some horrible jobs, but we went back and forth until we figured it out. Once we did, and I got my logo the way I wanted it, then she came to me with the bottles, and she just had the circle. I keep pointing to the wrong side. The circle on the bottle, and I was like, no. And so then I sat down and I literally created that label that you're looking at. Now, I'm not saying I have to boost myself up. She does enough. She don't need to be coming up with logos and making labels and all that kind of stuff. That, listen, I got to earn my money up in the game too, right? So I created the logo, I created the image, I created the business plan, I created the flow. This is what I do. Now, this is a start of something that we can turn around years from now, and this image is known worldwide. And that right there is where it starts. It starts with me and her sitting in the room debating back and forth what the image should and should not look like. It starts with every little mistake in every little area that we have to work toward to get where we are. And people don't like beginnings. Everybody likes the finished story. Nobody here is going to get rich and successful from the end, unless you inherit it, and then you usually mess it up. You, oh, who said that? Tanim said she's a mixologist. Yes, yes. But this is where you build, and this is how you build. And once you keep doing that and you watch that grow, my God, every step becomes precious to you. The fact that I had to learn graphics back in the day when I didn't want to know nothing about no graphics made a huge difference. I remember when we worked on Lindsay's first album and I created the album cover. And that, it's little stuff like that that you don't think. Jesus said, gather up all the fragments that nothing be wasted. All the little things that you've learned how to do and know how to do that you think have no value, they one day will come together to being the thing need to be a great captain of your ship. So stop throwing away and spitting at and looking down on these small beginnings or these little things that you learn that you don't think have value now. They will have value soon, and that's important. So with that said, I want to jump into the next couple of bullet points on this slide, and then I'll open the floor to some comments. But to end where we begin with Kiki's video, and what I shared after that, which was not on the video, but which I shared after that, surround yourself with growth-minded individuals who encourage your action. Surround yourself with people who will push you to be better. People only get jealous of you that are not doing anything. So if you're surrounded by people who are quote unquote haters or jealous, that's not their fault. That's your fault, because you're choosing to be around people that have no ambition and no goal, and hoping that they will love and support you. I say this all the time. Do not forsake the millions of people that are out there for you trying to get the love and approval of the 20 people you know. Those people are not your people. They may be, some of them, but they're really not. It's a world out there that doesn't know you. They're waiting for you. They need you to step into that role because they're depending on you to be great so that they can feel comfortable to step out and be great. You're a role model to people that's not your family and friends. They're total strangers that love you and need you. This last slide I wanted to show before we got off, and it kind of puts everything together in a bullet point. Take consistent steps forward, no matter how small. That's what Kiki was talking about. This is what I've been explaining all night. Recognize and celebrate progress. Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. Recognize and celebrate progress rather than waiting for perfect results. You have to, as they would say, the old folk would say, stop and smell the flowers. When I was talking earlier and Edwidge was going on with the same point about me forgetting that I had studied and learned graphic arts back in the day. Forgot all about it. And didn't care about it and didn't even understand why I had to take it in the class, in the business course I was taking. But now I'm looking back going, wow, this has been such a helpful thing to me. When the gentleman said, well, can you just send me what it is you're trying to do? I was like, you're the graphic artist. What do you mean you asking me to show you? And I didn't even say it to him. I said it to myself and said, look, I know what I want. There's not been a logo or anything that I've done in any business I have that I didn't even create myself or guided the people to making them. So me learning that when I didn't think it was important to learn that was a huge thing for me, because I didn't know later I would need it or even use it. But how much money have I saved? All the legal classes I took well, I love law, so I didn't fight with that. But that stuff, all these little steps you take today, all these gifts that you already have, that you don't even give value to, people. These little things that you do and you think is no big deal because it comes so easy for you, but nobody else can do it. There are things you can do. I'm a mess with Edwidge for a minute. Not Edwidge, Esther. So Esther is a phenomenal seamstress. She's an actress, and that's her desire. She has never expressed a desire that I want to be a dressmaker. But she's phenomenal. And she could be making a ton of money doing that as well as being an actress. But you have to see that value. You have to look at, probably for her, she, I know, I just love doing that. Right. I can do everything from plumbing, electrical. I don't have a license to do any of it. Sheetrock. I mean, anything like home improvement, hanging cabinets, you name it. Do I want to do that? No. But if I have to do it, in the process of what I'm doing, I don't mean as a side job, I mean to build what I'm doing or to build into it. Listen, I'd go to a movie studio if I want to get into movies and say, can you guys hire a carpenter? You need a carpenter? You need somebody to help you put the set together? I can do that just so I can be a part of whatever Tyler Perry or whoever's doing. Now, you may not think that's a big deal, and I don't know if you guys know this, co-host, but that's how Harrison Ford got where he is. He was just a stage developing guy, a carpenter. And when they were doing Star Wars, they needed somebody to read with Luke. So they asked him to read with Luke. Hey, you, come over here, read with him for while he's auditioning for Luke Skywalker, and you be Han Solo. And he read the lines, and they said, you're our next Han Solo. And look what came of Harrison Ford as a result of that. So all these little gifts that you might not want to look at, you might want to spit at, those gifts are gifts that God gave you for a purpose. You can use those. So let's go back to our final slides. And then Esther, I'm getting the E's mixed up tonight. At which we can bring it on home where you were starting to go. Keep track of your small wins to build confidence and momentum. Keep track of your small wins. Stop in the middle of your journey and celebrate. Celebrate. When Nellie went out there and she sold 13 bottles of oil in a place that she didn't even expect to sell one, I'm not saying she didn't expect the night she went. I'm saying up until then, that was not even a thought. But she went out there and she found her people and she began to go to them and they started saying, oh, I'll take two. Oh, I'll take three. Oh, I want to support you because people smell and see greatness on you and they want to be able to say they were a part of that beginning. So you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity at this point to develop something awesome, right? To develop something with people that they, again, not your immediate friends and family. They may help, but that's not your audience. If the 20 people you know are your only customers, I get on Nelly about this all the time. You got to stop catering to the 20 people you know. You got to cater to the 20 million you never met. A lot of people that follow me now on social media, I don't know these people. But they follow me, they're liking my videos, my numbers are growing, and I'm enjoying it. I want them to grow faster because that's just me, but I'm going to enjoy every 10, 15, 20, 50 people that do follow. I'm going to keep on chugging down this road because one day I'm not going to be able to probably go outside without somebody yelling, you ready, let's grow at me, right? And I look forward to that day. Mustard, now that he's done they're not like us. He's been around a long time, by the way. And he says now he can't walk down the street without hearing Mustard, right? He said he was in the airport the other day and somebody got on the actual intercom and he did it in the airport. He said, okay, this dude, you do it too much, right? But my point is, but that's what happens. I can't wait and I have people text me or see, go online and say, you ready, let's grow to me. Or I'm having a conversation with people and I just happen to say about something else, you ready? And they'll go, let's grow. So, I appreciate the small beginnings. I know where it's going. I know where you're going. And I know that if you just stick to what I'm telling you, try something new, but also dig out that old stuff that you have put away under the bed in the suitcase, because all that stuff plays a role in your greatness. You shouldn't have to be starting from scratch with everything you're doing today. There is a you inside that plays a part in what you're supposed to become and what you are becoming. There is a part that that person plays in who you are. And if it means relocating yourself, moving people out of your life and out of your space and out of your face that keep you in that consistent place, you got to do that. It's nothing personal. I mean, it is personal at the moment, but in the long run, it's not personal. This is what's necessary for you to be successful, and you got to do it. There's no way around it. I'll give you guys a last line or two, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I will just say I love that part about like using all of the things that you have, all of those gifts. You don't have to go back to start from scratch. I love that you said that. It's going to remind people, ignite, go back to that gift, the one that you're just sitting on and you're not even using. What could change? I mean, I just opened up my mouth and everyone came around me to see who I was. And I've been going skating with him to that place, that skating rink, for a long time. I never said anything. So they don't know who I am or what I have to offer. I made one change and I feel like it just ignited me. So please go back into the archives of what you have and pull those things out and use them, those gifts, those talents, and those abilities. That's all I'll say.
Nice. Miss Michelle?
Well, I think I said a lot already, but and I didn't realize what was happening. But yeah, but this is also, like you said, we're working with what we have, and I love that Nelly, and in my world, you took up space, right? You decided, all right, I'm gonna let people know who I am. I'm gonna take up space and allow the people to draw themselves to you, and that's a big thing, right? You're coming in there kind of like, oh, I don't know. It's like, no, but I have oils. Would you like them? And just like Mr. Brown said, and people are like, oh, wait, what's going on there? So that's a great reminder to take up space when you know you should, and allow what's coming to you to come.
I like
That's
that.
that's amazing.
I like that. And just think about this. Go back to some of our original videos and see how poorly and badly done they were, and how, even though I'm not 100% pleased, I like where I am, and I'm sure Devon will love this. I'm Captain Kirk. I like to know how the starship runs. I'm not Picard who sits there and just delegates. I like to know where every boat runs. So right now, they came to me with this. Nelly came to me. I think I don't know who else was involved with coming together with putting this YouTube thing together, and nobody seemed to have the skills in terms of doing this right. And I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do it myself. So literally changing the scenes, getting the three of us up here. I can get a whole group of people up here. Devon said yes. Like this is what makes me me. I'm producing and directing and handling the whole thing myself. But eventually I'll have somebody who does this, and all I got to do up here is be cute and talk to y'all and make everybody smile. This is what I love to do. But until I get somebody, just like Tyler Perry said, he did everything. He wrote the script, he built the set, he ran off the copies, he did it all. If I got to do it all myself, I ain't got nobody to help me, because you're not doing anything. There's nothing to help if you're not doing anything. You have to start doing something. You have to start being something, and then people want to be a part of what you're doing and what you're being. But if a person doesn't have a dream themselves, you can't help ask them to build your dream. You have to build it, and that old saying, if you build it, they will come. You ready? Get my finger in there. You ready? Let's grow. Good night, people. Say good
Good
night,
night.
ladies.
See you all next
Right.
week.